And to every business owner, please set your thermostats to 78 degrees to alleviate the stress on our power grid.
Why didn't Mom Donnie grow a pair and say, this is also for Taylor Swift? I would like to see your entire wedding be at 78 degrees.
Well, I hope he doesn't do that because I'm going to the wedding.
Really?
Yeah, I got an invite.
That's good.
Friends with the Kelseys.
Nice.
It's not true. I'll be here baking 1,000-degree heat. You know what they say, Greg? First they tell you how cold to keep your room, and then they can tell you how much sex you can have.
I didn't see that leap.
It's a slippery slope.
Yes.
They're going to say one-child policy next. This is how communism starts. They start rationing things. But you're right. They attacked the power plants. They attacked the pipelines. And now, like a good communist, he wants everybody to suffer together. Because that's what communism is, suffering as one.
Except for
and then
them.
there's that 1% that doesn't suffer. They just tell everybody else how much they have to suffer. I won't stand for it, Jessica. I'm cranking mine to 69.
Yeah, your favorite number?
Hi, hello, what's up? How you doing? Navigator here. And it didn't take long. The morons in New York who voted to put an Islamist, Muslim, communist who has never ran a job in charge of the most capitalistic city in the world are starting to realize why socialism never works. Okay, to fill you in, not that long ago, after that, for many years now, not just since the Mongol Muslim was elected, well, I don't know about that really, the Democrats have been doing everything they could to, bring in the Green New Scam, which is just a scam because they say it's to make their lives more affordable. No, it doesn't. I mean, look at Europe. The people, the people who they want us to be, even though the poorest American is still richer than anyone in Europe. The poorest state, which I think is Mississippi right now, is still poorer than the UK, France, all of them. Because why? Socialism. It never works. Because, hey, socialism, they just want, is about everyone suffering together, which people in New York are doing right now. Because they took away all their fossil fuels, they retired their refineries, which is still renewable. Now they're feeling the hurt of it. Now they're feeling the warmth of the collective because now the Mongol mayor told them that you have to turn down your ACs and you can't use it, the same as the UK and all of Europe. Because of Green New Scam. Oh yeah, in Europe, if they catch you with your AC on, oh yeah, that's going to be a thing soon, New York. It won't take long until they start doing that because with socialism, it all has to be forced. Which something that the people who vote for these socialists really don't understand. Like, with socialism, all their policies have to be enforced. Like the electric vehicles, electric mandate, they forced the Green New Scam. Yeah, they just force it on everybody and no one can say anything about it until, the people get tired of it and vote them out. And now he told them, well, it's like this. It starts with an ask, then it goes to the man, and then it goes straight to force. Right now it's in demand where at first he asked them to, they said no, and so what did he do? He turned off he caused a brownout on purpose, and it turned off the power to the Bronx. But it didn't touch any of the rich people's places. I know it didn't touch his house, and he's not gonna turn off the AC for his house. Heck no. So another thing these morons who keep voting for these people need to realize is socialism is for the elite. Like, look at Cuba, China, Russia, all of them. All their politicians live like kings, where everyone else live in mud. Why? Because it's all about taking the wealth from everyone away and keeping it into that one solid point. These moron children and women, yeah, I say women because they like to force shit on everyone. They truly do not understand socialism, which honestly is a fault of the schools because A, not only do they not teach the dangers of communism and socialism, B, they purposely teach you how bad capitalism is, and so because of that, they never really learn the truth. There are some kids in high school who don't even know about the Soviet Union. Think about that for a second. Now, that just told you that the school system is propaganda, and it's no wonder they do not want school choice and why they hate homeschooling. Oh yeah, homeschooling has increased over 1,000%, which is awesome. And yeah, because the people who voted for this mongrel, the Americans who voted for this mongrel didn't really understand anything about capitalism. Let's be honest, they're all idiots. They're starting to learn the truth now. And also, I just don't blame them. I blame the foreigners who come over here who don't assimilate, who think just because they have one of them who has the same skin color as them think they're going to treat them any different. No. You escape Iran. You escape Israel. You escape any of these places. You escape all these terrible places. Mexico. Look at that. A lot of these Mexicans and Russians and basically anyone who comes from the third world come over here and thinking, oh, that guy has same skin. He must look out for me. No. You get the same stuff you ran away from, you morons. And to go more of that, I'm going to show and to look in here. Take even more info on that.
If you know someone who thinks that this slide towards socialism is like somehow a good thing, show this monologue to them and their family. And this is just entry-level socialism that we're seeing right now. This isn't even firing squad and re-education camp socialism that always follows this kind of stuff. So you may have noticed that half the country is experiencing this massive heat wave because we're in this thing called summer. Right. And of course, the cities and states governed by blue Democrats, especially in New York, are telling us that we should turn our air conditioners up to 78 degrees and we should turn off all the lights because of the strain on the power grid. Now, Gavin Newsom started this trend. Hilariously, in 2022, he gave a speech from a podium in a government building while wearing a fleece because the AC was cranked up so much and it was that cold.
Individuals, the state, industries, business, all doing their part to help reduce strain on the grid. Please turn your thermostat up to 78 degrees or higher and avoid, to the extent possible, using any really large appliances.
Right. Okay. So, since they're doing it in New York this year, we went out to check and see if the same government buildings these people are preaching from in New York were heeding their own advice, unlike California. And we sent Sarah Williamson out there to some of these government buildings like, City Hall.
In City Hall right now, and look, I'm not a walking human thermometer, but they do feel pretty cold. So we're standing in the center of the rotunda, underneath a skylight with no air conditioner anywhere near us, in the middle of City Hall, and it is 73 degrees. Now, that is only 1 degree above a normal room temperature in the middle of an extreme heat wave.
Yeah, and that's another problem with socialism, communism. It's always rules for me, not for thee. Look at any of them. China right now, all the people in the government, they're alive. All the people who aren't in the government, they're eating rats because they have no food. Same with North Korea, a communist Cuba, no money for anyone else, and they go starving, and they have no clean, fresh water. Any communist country, and Islamist country really too, it's always rules for me and not for thee. And let's be honest, the people in the government will never, ever, ever, ever turn down. In New York, they'll never turn down it. And that's the problem with socialists. They want to force everything on everyone else, but they will never do it. They would never, ever do it because they don't believe in it. They're authoritarian, let's be honest. That's just the problem. They're authoritarian. They have no real values. And I want to hate the people who vote for this, who truly do not know because they've been lied to all their lives. They've been lied to saying that America's bad, capitalism is bad, and socialism is good. But then they never answer this question. If socialism is so good, why is it you see people running in drones, doing everything they can to leave socialist, communist, and Islamist nations, but you never see the other way around? Simple. In capitalist countries, there are less people going bye-bye, turn it off, because we have food, something you want. I give it like a few more weeks and they will run out of food because the brownouts, they're going to lose all their food. Like, think about this. Tomorrow is 4th of July, a holiday. There's going to be many people in New York without heat, without AC and food. What do you think that's going to do? That's going to make everyone angry. And you know who's going to get extremely annoyed? Extremely pissed? The people who voted for him. Because the people who voted for that mongrel, it's simple this, they are weak. They will, as soon as they feel uncomfortable, to them, that is worse than going bye-bye, turn it off. And they're going to feel a lot more uncomfort. Because the grid's going off too, they'll lose their phones. These wannabe socialists who keep voting for these people, they're going to have to learn the hard way, and we have to do it before, the re-education camps and firing squads, because he is right. That always comes. There is not a single socialist, communist, or Islamist nations that does not end up with re-education camps and hardcore mass bye-bye turning it off with shooting squads. Like, it happened. It happened in China as soon as they took over, and then they got bye-bye turned off all their useful idiots. You know, the useful idiots, the same people who keep voting for these socialists, the women and weak men.
So it was 73 degrees, and their AC was blasting. What did Ma'am Danny say when he won the race that we had to embrace again?
We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
The warmth of collectivism. For you, in the summer, while they enjoy air conditioning, not only were they not turning down their air conditioning, it appeared that all their lights were on too.
And the lights are on, and there's so much natural lighting coming through these windows.
That we have to turn our lights off. Floor to ceiling windows in broad daylight, sunny as all get out, and they got their lights on. But you and I, we got to shut ours off to conserve energy. And it wasn't just that building. We sent Sarah over to Hochul's Manhattan office to check that out.
Hochul's office is in this building here. It's a private building, but I did leave our thermometer in the foyer for about 20 to 30 minutes while we went and spoke to some people out here. Now we're going to run back in and check it out and see what the temperature is.
72 degrees. Even colder than City Hall. The funny thing about all this is that the state that wanted to go all green energy, wanted everyone to get electric cars, you have to charge those things somewhere, okay? They have mandated switching to an all-electric bus fleet to replace their entire diesel fleet. Do you have any idea how much energy it takes to charge those electric buses? Just to visualize this, okay? Bloomberg noted that a single charging station for these size vehicles would take more energy than an entire town. So I wanted to know exactly in practice how much this was. I did a little bit of quick mathing. Check this out. Fast charging for one of those buses requires, and you can see it right there on your screen, I'm using the low end here. One bus, 600,000 watts, and that'll run that bus for 8 hours. Much of that is, well, the average window unit actually uses, that's right, 300 to 500 watts an hour. So you would need to run 225 window units all day to equal the amount of energy to charge one of those city buses. But here's where it gets hilarious. The 5 boroughs of New York City have over 5,800 buses, many running 24/7 shifts. Since a charge is only really good for one 8-hour shift, times, that by 3, 17,400 charges per day, that's the equivalent to almost 4 million window unit ACs. So the same people who wanted you to turn your AC to 78 with all their lights on and all their ACs blasting in their offices, we're going to add the equivalent of 4 million more full power window unit ACs that they wanted you to shut off to save the same power grid. Got it. Okay, this doesn't even include the personal electric vehicles that they wanted everybody to start driving that also would need to charge somewhere. This is why I don't take liberals seriously. This is welcome to socialism. Rules for thee, but not for me. Lofty ideas, they always, 10 out of 10, fail in practicality. We also hit the streets to ask people how they felt about this new directive. Mind you, the streets that elected these socialists.
If the mayor told you you had to put it at 78, would you listen?
No, I hate him. I don't think that's reasonable, and I will not do it, so...
Oh, I'm not turning my AC down. He can go up himself.
A day like this, I mean, I need it at 69. Yeah, or like 68, maybe. Listen to the mayor, though, you guys. Mayor Mamdani is the best mayor. He should be president.
I truly do hate these people. I hate these morons. He legit said that he would not do it. That is a bad idea, but he wants to be president. Why? It is a cult. It's a cult. Let's be honest. These people are idiots. They've been brainwashed since as soon as they got in school saying that Islam is good, communism good, socialism good, but they never give any real reasons. It never works. And you want to know what's going to really change their mind and why I truly think that he's going to be the last of his kind being in mayor? He's going to have to force it. She already did because she started brownouts on purpose. All the power in the Bronx is gone. All the rich, poor areas are gone, but not the rich places. No. If you look right now at City Hall in New York, they will still have it. But it's not going to stop there, because I bet you it will not be long until he makes up police to go to your house and say, hey, is your air conditioning on? And if you're not, two things going to happen. You're going to get fined or you're going to be put into a camp, because that always happens under socialism. It always happens. Show me a place with capitalism that does not happen. And these idiots really do not see the writing on the wall. They're doomed. Oh my God, they're just so stupid. And the ones who are even dumber are the foreigners who think just because he's brown like him, that he's going to treat them better. No, you're still going to be a slave, just like the country that you left just to get away from. But no, because their people are less than us, let's be honest. Their culture is terrible. It's all about stealing. And I truly cannot stand. We really need to do two things. One, we really just need to have homeschool, let's be honest. The public school system, even the private, all the school systems in America, they're just made for propaganda. And these kids really don't know anything. And that's why these socialists are winning. Democrats need ignorance. Sorry, socialists need ignorance. Darn, they need Democrats. The socialists took it over because the stupid Democrats thought, oh yeah, we can control them. We can control them. And then they're fighting back. Hakeem Jeffries is gone. Chuck Schumer's gone. It don't matter what they do. They're going to get rid of them because A, they're not far left enough, and B, one's white and one's an American. And they hate them. Like, this is what you get. Like, think about this. Even though the Democrats who were born here hate America, the ones that they brought over here by mass migration hate them no matter what, because they are American, because they're jealous of us. Let's be honest. And these the people who voted for him, they'll only get angry, upset as soon as they start being uncomfy. Because let's be honest, these people only vote for a socialism because they're comfy. And that's just a fact. If you want to turn a socialist, just send them to a socialist country and they'll hate it. And I don't mean like a rich socialist, like be an actual one. Live under it and you'll hate it. The same way if you want to turn a Democrat, just send them to California for a few months to live. They can't stand it. Yeah.
Right. Nobody's complying with it, even the guy who likes him. The majority of people in New York City seem to like the idea of socialism until it actually got implemented. This is like a microcosm of what's coming, baby. In the history, any reference you can possibly think of, everybody, they voted their way into it, but they always had to shoot their way out of it. Or it just totally collapsed and people just starved to death. That's why you have people in socialist countries fleeing in makeshift rowboats to come to capitalist countries and not the other way around. But this is why we wanted to point this out. Just look at every socialist country and empire, whatever. Grand, big, beautiful government buildings. But everyone else living in poverty. The government class is basically royalty, does whatever they want, while the rest of the people are taxed into poverty to provide for the government. The other hilarious thing is, in New York, not unlike other blue states, actually, some red states have this too. There are laws about cutting off or restricting people's electricity, especially in New York, under the Home Energy Fair Practices Act. No shutoffs on days with forecasts when it's cold, highs of 32 or lower, including wind chill, or they're not allowed to shut off your electricity the day of or the day before the heat index reaches 90 plus degrees, which is today. So there is actually no mechanism for Mamdani or anyone else to enforce this guidance. They could do rolling blackouts, which has happened, but there will, and I'm telling you what's going to happen for some people. Remember when Mamdani said this?
We will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards. Stewards that include community land trusts, nonprofits.
Well, I bet they turn the AC to 78 in those units when they own them. Again, literal warmth of collectivism. But what's funny is the same states that make laws saying that you can't shut off people's electricity basically gives them no enforcement mechanism to do this. So it's all, smoke and mirrors. This is the result of any slide towards socialism, because most people are going to say, well, why should I shut mine off if nobody else is shutting theirs off, like all the people you heard from on the street of New York, which is how the workforce will become too. If you're going to take all my money because I'm working super hard for it, and you're just going to redistribute it to the people who don't work as hard as I do, why should I work super hard? The reality is, and this is the reality of governance policies that have become mainstream in the Democrat Party, but mark my words, we're not far away from Democrats passing laws to control people with electricity. We've already seen them want to control who can bank with which bank based on your political affiliations. China, communist country, has a socialist credit system or social credit system where they can shut you off. They can literally shut off your ability to buy things. Oh, you've had too much red meat this month? We're going to shut it off. This is Ma'am Danny. He is frothing at the mouth to get something like this. When they tell you who they are, folks, you better listen to them.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.
And he's right. The problem with socialism is all the rich people leave and everyone who's left over it doesn't work, because what's the point? There is no point of it, because if you're going to take my money, I'm just not going to work or go somewhere that's more capital free. And here's the thing with these idiots. They need to stop voting for this, because they will put laws that will force you to turn off your power. So, like, they're basically voting away their freedom. They're voting away for their freedom. And we need to fight this hard and kick it out. And I'm okay either way. It's either going to be via voting or a civil conflict. And that's just a fact. And with a civil conflict, it would be true Americans versus foreigners. That's just it. And we know most of the foreigners are cowards, so they'll just run away back to their home lands. And without a doubt, after that, we're gonna have to do something that's gonna make women mad. We're gonna have to take away women's right to vote, because women voting got us here. And I can explain it's true. Why women keep on our number one voters are the Democrat Party. They vote for open borders. They vote for socialism. And that's a really obvious reason why they keep going to Democrats. Simple. By nature, it's like, you ever heard of the Lego theory? When Lego did a study where they showed that boys and girls play different. When boys play with Legos, they want to be Batman. When girls play with Legos, they want Batman to be them, i.e. force the change, which makes so much sense why you think why they vote for Democrats, because the majority, all Democrat policies, socialist policies, are just forced. You have to force it. You have to force people to drive electric cars. You can't do that. You have to force people who are Republicans to not be able to go at bank, to put their monies in the banks, which is why crypto is a thing now. Yeah, and yeah, women, they like to force things more. And not only that, it's easier to manipulate them emotionally. And then we all know it's true. Why do you think we have so many people from the border coming in here and they keep voting to keep them here? Because they believe the whole heart-throbbing story and emotional appeal. Yeah, we're going to have to take away their right to vote. Not only that, women are biologically ingrained to keep up with the status quo. Because this is going to keep happening again. Yeah, just take away the right to vote, and let's be honest, no one really care, because women don't even like to vote, because they don't vote based off policy. They vote based on emotion and if the guy looks nice. I mean, heck, both my mom and my sister voted for Kamala Harris. I bet you a million. No, I know for a fact. They can't tell me one policy. They both just voted for her because they thought she was a black woman. And yeah, that's a huge problem with the blacks. But if the women lost the right to vote, that it would change completely. No Democrat would. Sorry, there's no more Democrats. No socialists will ever get elected again. And I'm going to go through the part of the Bible that just really makes sense. And yeah, we have to kick out these Islamists, these non-Americans, and I'm not talking about the people who come here and immigrated legally. I mean illegal. And we're just going to have to kick out socialism before we get a bunch of, bye-bye turns it off, because that always comes. I mean, what am I talking about? It already happened. As soon as that Mongol got elected, 17 people went bye-bye turning it off because he didn't allow the homeless camps to be taken down. And then after 17 people went bye-bye, turn it off, he put it back up. But that's just a warning. Listen, New Yorkers, you're going to lose your freedom. Satan thrown out of heaven. Revelation 12:4. 1516. And a war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, the serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceived the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Then I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ has come. For the accuser of our brethren, who accused them before our God, day and night has been cast down, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimonies. And they did not love their lives to the death. They did not live their lives to the death. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you having a great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. Thank you. This has been Navigator Podcast, and share this because we really do need to fight these people. Like, I don't want to go bye-bye, turn it off, and I don't want any other generations, because that's what socialism always gets. Look at China, Russia, Ukraine, Ukraine in a way. All of Europe, Canada, Mexico, all the southern countries, let's be honest.